Hi, BookTube, and welcome back. So, I have finally got some shelving. I saw this on a fellow YouTuber's birthday wish list, and I ordered these for myself on from Amazon. They were like well, I got 2 packs. The 12 pack was $28, I think, and the 18 pack was about 40. So I picked some up because I started to notice that I had a lot of books hanging around on my floor. And then with me having two dogs, with one of them who likes to go to the bathroom on the floor, I was afraid that eventually she was going to go to the bathroom on the floor and it was going to go near my books. So I finally got some shelving. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. So today we are here to talk about the fantasy book that has really, 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 really got me into fantasy. So I am not new to fantasy per se. Um, Back in the day, um, I've read all of the Twilight books, and um, I've read some of the Vampire Diaries and some of the Sookie Stackhouse series by Charlene Harris. I've read some of those. I think back then they were considered like paranormal. It wouldn't have been underneath the fantasy umbrella, but I've recently started getting into epic fantasies. So the book that really, really nosedived it for me and turned me into a fanatic, which got me into buying all of these fantasy books. And there's more over here, is The Will of the Many by James Islington. And I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret. I have filmed this video twice before I got the shelving. I didn't like the videos. I felt like I rushed it. I was talking too fast, but I also think it was like my nerves just trying to get through everything. And if you're hearing a lot of walking back and forth, I don't have carpet no more. I've gotten vinyl flooring, and my dogs are walking back and forth just in case you can really, really hear them. But the Will of the Many really, really, it set the tone for me. Um, I became an instant fan. Um, this was just, it was really good to me. Now, there are other critics who might, who have a vast of fantasies underneath underneath their umbrella. So like there's people who might not think it's as good as I think it is. Um Maybe as I'm going through this journey of reading fantasy, I may change my mind. But I thought this was really good. So I'm gonna tell you what drawn this to me. So I have been looking at fantasy books. So I was looking into getting Sarah J. Maas. By the way, I own them all now. But I was putting things like in my cart and stuff. And I think when I started to put Brandon Sanderson books in my cart, one of the recommendations that came up was The Will of the Many. Now, it wasn't this cover, it was the original cover. And my daughter just came in. She's trying to get Bella. You want to meet? Let me show you Bella. Come here, Bella. Come here. This is, oh God. This is Bella. This is my mini golden doodle. She's one. Ain't she pretty? She's a ham. She's looking at my daughter right now. But she's a ham. And she's about to go for the bacon. You see them? Can I have a kiss? You gonna give me a kiss? Oh, you see the bacon. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. All right. You see the bacon. But anyway, but when I saw like it had like the Roman columns on it, and it's the blue book. That's the original cover art. Well, when I saw it, I'm like, this seems real interesting. The Will of the Many. And so I already knew what will was, because I knew it was talking about free will, right? So it really, um interest me as to what can this book be about. So then I went and I read the synopsis. And when I read the synopsis hooked me because it tells you about the Container Republic, which is known as the hierarchy. I always want to pronounce it something else. May rule the world now, but they don't know everything. And then it goes on to say, like, I tell them my name is Vis Telemis. I will tell them that I'm orphaned from a tragic accident 3 years ago, and that good fortune alone has led to my acceptance into their most prestigious school. I will tell them that once I graduate, I will gladly join the rest of civilized society in allowing my strength, my drive, and my focus, what they call will, to be leached away and added to the power to those above me, as millions already do. All of that, all as all must eventually do. I would tell them that I belong and they believe me. But the truth is, I have been sent to the academy to find answers, to solve a murder, to search for an ancient weapon, to uncover secrets that may tear the republic apart. And I would never, ever cede my will to the empire that executed my family. To survive, though, I will still have to rise through the academy ranks. I will have to smile and make friends and pretend to be one of them and win. Because if I cannot, then those who want to control me, who know my real name, will know will no longer have a use for me. And if the hierarchy finds out who I really am, they will kill me. I was like, oh, this is okay. This is gonna be good. So I picked it up. I read it. I will say in the beginning it was a little slow. This has about 650 pages. It took me about a month to read because I commit to 20 minutes. If I go over that, great. So it took me about a month to read. Um, but the beginning, the first half of the book, I would say is pretty slow because you're world building, right? I will also say by the time you finish this book, you're still gonna have questions. You're still there's still going to be questions that are not answered, right? But this is going to be a trilogy with the second book, The Strength of the Few, coming out in November, sometime in November. And I want to say like November 11th, something like that. But there's a lot of books coming out in November, so I may have my dates mixed up. So hopefully, I'm hoping that with the second book, that some of my questions will be answered, right? So we have this who starts off as an orphan. He then meets an is he? I think he's an Octavie. No, he was told he was an Octavie, but he was actually a. Hold on, let me look. Because in here they have the rankings. Okay, Octavius. So he thought that he was a Sextus, but he's actually a Quintus. So he was actually the guy who adopted him was actually higher in rank. But I immediately got to that this was going to be a lot of politicking and stuff in here. And so the whole reason why he was adopted was because they needed somebody on the inside to find out what happened to his brother, right? The guy who adopted him. And um and stuff. So that's his whole mission with the academy. I don't want to. I'm trying to figure out how not to give this review without revealing too much because I really want to talk about it. But I'm not. I'm not going to do that. But I'm definitely going to tell you, it's a really good book, really worth the read. Um, is there anybody likable in here? I would say his friend that he made at the academy. Um, he was the one likable person. This right now, it's like a little bit sexist. Um, and it's a little bit confusing because you have women who are at the academy, you have women who are in position, but really they think women are supposed to be basically married and having children. And and what got me as I was reading this book is reminding me, even though this book was published in 2023, this is what's going on now. And here, I mean, it's something that's been going on for years and decades, but it's going on now here in America. Like when we think about what's going on in the world of politics in America right now, um, you got a few women who are part of the administration, but it's mostly men. But we also know that they really think that we're supposed to be um, having children and raising the family and being at home, cooking and cleaning and doing all that stuff, not having jobs and using our brains and being smart and stuff, right? And so, my hair a little dry, but and that's and stuff, right? So you had these people who basically took over the um Catan, no, Catan is the country. So I make sure right. So you had these people who took it over, right? And they created this hierarchy. And it kind of does remind me of what's going on with the fascism and stuff like that, of what's going on today. But what really got me, what was going on today, is because I'm really not trying to be political, but um what's going on today, how how a lot of people who have voted for the current administration here in America, um how they are having their F around and find out moment, right? And stuff, right? And so in chapter 20 of the book, there's a scene where there is a speech made. This speech, you would think that these are the liberal people who are talking to the MAGA voters who are now finding out that the things that the current administration is trying to do is going to hurt them, right? So this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler here because I want to read this speech because I loved this speech because it is exactly what's going on today. This is exactly what the liberals have been trying to scream and tell people. And if we could today, that this would be the exact speech given to the MAGA folks. Ooh, I thought it sounds like it's going to storm. Um, it sounds like exactly what liberals would tell the people who voted MAGA. Okay, so this is the speech, and it's chapter 20. If you decide to read this book, people of Catan. My name is Arturus Meliar Leos. I am the leader of the group you know as the Anguis. We fight for a better world than the one you have created. And let there be no mistake, it is you, all of you, who are responsible for creating it, not those in power, not the ones who wield what you give them, because you give it to them. So you could, okay? You let them stand on your shoulders, all for the dream of one day being able to stand atop others, even when you know deep down it is an illusion as unattainable for most of you as it is selfish. A pyramid strength is in its foundation, not its peak. So I have come here today to judge. I have come to bring a reckoning for your decisions, your weakness, your blindness, and your cowardness and complicity. Mm, that right there. That speech. Tell me that is not how liberals are thinking today about people who have voted MAGA. You cannot tell me this is not what they think. I love, and that speech alone made me fall even further in love with it because it is so true when you relate it to what's going on in society, when you think about and you hear about people who are now complaining that they're going to lose their farms, they're going to lose their not Medicare, Medicaid, and stuff. Like you just thought that these things were going to happen to Latinos, Black people, in the people in the liberal society in the LGBT community. You thought that all of this stuff was just going to affect those people, not you. But the people who are being the most affected outside of the stuff that's going on with immigration are the people who live in red states. Now, I don't mean this to sound political, not at all. So don't come for me in the comments because I will come back for you. Just gonna let you know that now. But you can't tell me that when people voted, this is what they thought. That it wasn't going to affect them, it was just going to affect a different group of people. I mean, look at the Latinos who voted, the Venezuelans, the Cubans who voted MAGA. They thought they were just going to get out the El Salvadorians, the Honduras people, the people from South America and Mexico. Oh, you didn't know you were going back too. You know what I'm saying? So you did all this that wasn't in your best interest because you thought if I align myself with this group of people, that they would protect me when they really didn't. So that's what I took from the speech. And I was able to take that speech and relate it to what's going on today, even though this book was published in 2023. God only knows how long it took him to write it and stuff. So there's no telling when he actually wrote chapter 20. So, and he's not even from America. Okay. But I'm pretty sure they have their own political stuff down there in Australia too, because I believe he is Australian. So yeah. But I would definitely recommend The Will of the Many. I mean, it's a good time. It's if it doesn't make you think, I don't know what's wrong with you, because it brought it full circle, and at that point I think that's what made the connection to fantasy to me, fantasy to real life. um because I'm gonna tell you now, I never got fantasy. I was like dragons and this and this. No, give me a good murder mystery and I'm good. But now I know how to connect fantasy with the real world. It's just that they use different terminology, different world building, different things that's going to represent um the society, right? As we know it. So, but yeah, but that is my review. I think I'm actually going to post this one. I'm actually a little bit more comfortable posting this one. I really didn't want to give you too much, but this book was a 5-star for me, not just because this was my first one, but it because it was legitimately good and it kept me interested the whole time. Um, so yeah, this is good. Like my next fantasy I'm going to read is The Devils. I just wrapped up the way of the Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. That one took me a little bit long um to read, but it was mostly because I just had a lot going on, and then I read other books in between. um but I'm excited to read The Devils. This will be my first um Joe Abercrombie book, even though I owe they're down here with this. I I I, I have them have them all. My intention was to start with the first Law trilogy, but then the doubles came out, and I really, really want to read the doubles. So I'm going to start with the doubles and then go back to read the first Law trilogy. But yeah, that's what that's where we at. So I'm just now getting back to my reviews because I actually read this book a couple of months ago, and it still lives rent free in my head. Um, it's just that I wasn't satisfied with the reviews I was filming, and I wanted to make sure, like, I don't have the greatest space to film, so but I wanted to have something that was at least decent, um, and stuff and comfortable for me. So yeah, so that's part of the reason why it's taking me so long to get to these reviews. Um, I have a couple of other reviews that I'm working on. I'm writing out. Um, those ones I'm writing. I'm trying to write them out and pinpoint exactly what I want to say about those. So, so yeah, so that's what I have going on. Currently, I am reading the first book of Akatar, the Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm reading that. I'm also reading The Murder on the Oxford Canal by Faith Martin. Um, the Reformatory, but I don't know how to pronounce her name. Ten, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but it's called The Reformatory. And I feel like, oh, Break Her Silence. That's the fourth book. So those are the four that I have going in circulation right now. And then I'm going to get to the doubles and the Justice of the Kings. And I want to try to get to the Thursday Murder Club and Murder by Cheesecake. So yeah, I have a lot to do, but it's just I've been a little bit tired lately. So, but yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'm excited for this new journey. Um, I'm trying to figure out because I'm trying to make sure I do reviews better to make sure they non spoiler. But I also want to create something where we can have spoiler reviews and discussions and really deep dive into the books and stuff too. So I want to be able to bring that kind of stuff to you also. So, but yeah, but that's all I have for you today because I'm about to start rambling. Bye bye.